Jay Sri Radheshyam and welcome. Charit Sudha, The Life of Love. Biography of Srimad Radharaman Charan Das Dev, the embodiment of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's universal religion of love. Chapter 4. Tvameva matacha pita tvameva, tvameva vanducha sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinan tvameva sarvam mam dev tvameva. Chapter 4. The Master and the Disciple. Wonderful, he that gives, powerful, he that receives it. The great change. A great change came upon our hero since the memorable day when he, for the first time, entered into communion with the Divine Mother and experienced new life, an ineffable joy he had never felt before. The able Semindar of Mahishkola was gone, the wise counselor who was always consulted on momentous questions of Semindari business and public affairs. And in his stead was found a boy, but larger grown, who would weep and weep, he knew not why. He shed tears, for the tears came, he knew not what they meant. He had tears and went his way as fast as his legs could carry him on. He thought not only one thing, and that was this: the Divine Mother told him he will meet his master on the Saraju. He was on the tiptoe of expectation as he ran through the streets of Ayodhya, but his mind was tossed with waves of bright and hopeful, and well as dismal and anxious thoughts. He was sure, for the mother assured him of the great fortune that was about to smile on him. But the next moment he remembered his mother. He remembered his master was not willing to have any more disciples. Will the master have him? Perhaps not. Will he break his pledge for his sake? He was no ordinary man. Who can shake his purpose? But, oh, the mother, she had said she would speak to him. She can make the impossible possible. She can change his mind and make him take pity on poor Radharaman. But then, how could he know him when he met the master? The mother described his person. He reflected and revisited the fine form and graceful features of the worthy person as he expected to see him when he made his appearance at the feet of the master. He was absorbed in a profound contemplation of the image of his master, when suddenly he found the saint entering the wood with the wooden bowl in his hand after finishing his ablutions in the holy water of the Saraju. He saw Radharaman and said, smiling, "Well, are you come, my child? You are welcome. I was waiting for your arrival." Radharaman ran to him and fell at his feet. The saint laid his hand on his head, blessed him, took him by the hand, and led him to his hermitage, a few paces from the Saraju, and he found himself in front of a poor cottage, hemmed in by tall trees around. It was a sequestered nook which presented quite a neat appearance, with the Tulasi Mancha in the forefront and a nice little garden on one side of the yard. There was a stillness in the air and a spirit of sanctity on the spot, which naturally reminded Radharaman of the Naimisharanya, where the riches met and conversed about the nature and worship of God. Radharaman and the attendant disciple. The saint entered, and the disciple rushes forward to wash his feet and with water. That done, he spoke not a word, but stepped quietly into the cottage, and the disciple blocked entrance behind him. Radharaman Babu offered his dandavat to the attendant of the saint, and the latter, doing the same in return, took him to a neighboring tree and asked him about his health, for he said he had heard from the saint that he was unwell. Radharaman Babu was curious to know what the saint had said about him before he came. His new acquaintance told him Gurudev was wrapped in contemplation of the day of the solar eclipse, when suddenly he exclaimed, "How fortunate! Oh, how fortunate!" as he came out of his trance, I inquired who that fortunate soul was, whom he saw in the blessed state. Gurudev replied, a man was performing Purasharan on that day, and the Divine Mother was pleased to direct him to come to me. Thus, the Mother did me a favor and a disfavor at the same time. A favor, for she appeared to me in person. A disfavor, because she forced me to break my vow. The fortunate soul, he continued, will render great service to the world, and he is in the good graces of Yogamaya, who will, in her infinite mercy, take him straight into the Lila. He also said he will be coming soon. Not that Radharaman was calm. The disciple was sure he came in fulfillment of the vision of his master. Radharaman Babu was simply overpowered. He burst into tears as he said, "Oh, how kind, how merciful to the woe-stricken and the weak, the gracious Lord. He has seized me by the hair, so to speak, and brought me here. Bless me, brother, that I may be allowed to sit at the feet of the Master." It's good to remember that previously to this chapter, Sri Radharaman Charan Das Dev, he did Purasharan, and he was in a deep trance for a couple days. And in this Purasharan and trance, he gets the sight, the vision of Durga Ma, who in this material world appears as Durga Ma, but she is Yogamaya. And Yogamaya, Durga Ma, say to him that very soon he, Radharaman Charan Das Dev, will meet his guru. And Radharaman asked to Yogamaya, to Durga, so how I will recognize him? And Durga Ma say to Radharaman, he lives in this area, specific area. You must go there. He looks like this, he look like this, he do this, he do that. He give mother, the cosmic mother, give all description about the sadhu, the guru, the future guru of Radharaman. And Radharaman said also that he will do as the mother is asking, but what about the sadhu? And we can see here, through the previous lines, that Durga Ma also appeared to the guru and informed him about Radharaman. What a wonderful story. I really, out of all the stories of saints I have been reading, nothing can be more similar to the Lila of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu than the life of Sri Radharaman Charan Das Dev. It's truly nectar. And all the great sadhus, Gaudiyas, have been studying his life because it's full of insights, it's full of nectar, it's pure prem, the initiation. Presently, they heard a voice from within the cottage. It was the voice of the master, bidding the newcomer to take his bath. Radharaman was only too glad, for he felt the blessed hour of initiation was at hand. He ran to the Saraju, and performed his ablutions in the holy water of the sacred river. And when he returned, the master ordered his attendant to help him to be equipped with tilak and the kanti. The preparations being over, the master was seated with his eyes closed, in close communion with the Lord of love. His eyes, the fountain of sweet tears, flowing out in constant streams down the cheek, the chest, and all over, wetting the clothes and the ground beneath. The tears were potent tears. They served to spread the blessed contagion of love from man to man, and affect them both who were sitting nearby. All the three were weeping for joy, out of the fullness of a heart overflowing with love divine. It was a sight for the angels to see, the sight of the love of God in flood over all, men, beasts and birds, trees and creepers, rocks and stones, and all things else in the entire neighborhood of the place. It is no exaggeration to describe this scene as we have done, for really the familiar things and common objects of nature are transformed and transfigured under the influence of a God-intoxicated man. Radharaman wept and gave out piteous cries, and he tumbled over the feet of the master. Oh, what a cry! He knows whoever heard him cry. The stocks and stones themselves would be melted with pity to hear him cry. Then the master raised Radharaman and made him sit in front of him, after which he bent forward and breathed the mantras into his ear. They were so many living things. It would seem, each and every syllable blown into his ears. They set up a struggle into the entire frame and will come out, so to speak, through the pores of the body. For so it seems when the hair stood on end like the bristles of a porcupine. He was quaking from time to time, so vehemently that the saint could hardly hold him still as he clasps him to his chest. The master himself will not find in his heart to let him go after the mantras were imparted to him. He held him on and wept over him. Behold, oh behold, the master and the disciple in each other's arms. Their chests flowed over with tears of love, trembling in every limb, and saying, oh blessed I am, oh blessed am I, thrice blessed for this shower of mercy from on high. It was long till the master gently dissociate himself from the disciple, who was lying still and motionless, apparently in an unconscious state, while his friend was chanting fervently aloud the Maha Mantra, the blessed name of the gracious Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It is not a mere sound, this initiation, in the true sense of the term, a sound made by one and heard by the other, nor a formal ritual observed in good faith with uncertain results to come off in the far-off future, but a positive, palpable transmission of spiritual energy which makes itself felt then and there and without fail, in the pulsations of a new life and the thrills and throbs of new joy hitherto unfelt into the way of the world. It blessed him who gives and him who receives, and marks the beginning of a new page of existence, which altogether different from the old way of living the worldly life. Wonderful must be the Guru, one who is a man of realization himself, and powerful must be the disciple, fit to receive and contain this immense influx of spiritual energy from the great receiver of truth and love, to make the process a process. Radharaman Babu was, as we have already pointed out, the worthy disciple of the worthy master, and though overpowered by the first shock of the new experience for a time, he quickly recovered and regained his consciousness. When the master undertook to teach him the guidance principle of his new life, which promised to take him to the land of eternal light and love. Jai Radharaman ki Jai. Another interesting detail is that the Guru, Diksha Guru of Radharaman Charan Das Dev, he was not an ordinary man, as we can see through these verses. He was extremely powerful sadhu, but not only that, all the sadhus around on that time said that this man, this holy man, had the power of Nityananda Ram in itself, in himself, in his heart. That he was externally a sadhu, but internally the heart was Nityananda Ram. That was so extremely powerful and deep. He used to be part of the Nityananda Vamsha caste of Goswamis, but he renounced to any pride and renounced to family life and any comfort for living next to Ganga in his small and poor cottage, kutir. So we see the quality of a guru, neat, but also the quality of a disciple. This is the perfect story. Chapter 5, the teachings, will be read in the next episode. I hope you enjoy. If this reading is important for you, please leave a comment, like, subscribe to the channel. If you have any question in relation to Sri Radharaman Charan Das Dev and the story, you can leave your question in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Bhajani Taigo Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram.